It's time for mail call.
Mail call.
Mail call.
Mail call.
We were kind of in sync there for a second.
Yeah, for a second.
My name is Justin.
Your name's Justin. I go by JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead.
Most days.
We talk about The Walking Dead, obviously, but we also talk about many other things and have several different podcasts throughout the week, including this one where we answer your questions that you leave on other videos. Now, if you have a question for next week's video, try to leave it. It's always helpful if you leave it on the mail call video because that's the first place we're going to look. But if you leave it on another video, that's fine. Just hashtag and mail call so it's a little bit easier to find when we're sifting through the comment section.
I know I saw one from Monday's podcast.
Yeah. Was that
There's the one about the lesbo scene that I don't know how we didn't talk about, but
the lesbo scene?
It wasn't like It wasn't like like scissor action or anything. It wasn't any licking, but there was kissing. There was girl kissing.
Okay, well we'll get into that. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you haven't followed JP on Periscope yet, you should, because he's been Periscoping pretty much every podcast we've done for the last, about 2 weeks?
Yeah, we've missed one or two here or there, but yeah.
It's been pretty cool. It gives you kind of a behind-the-scenes look at the podcast. We're also really branching out. We're also now available on SoundCloud for those of you that might not want to waste your battery on the video part, because we are mostly audio. We just have to put pictures to make it work on YouTube. So there's SoundCloud, there's also Castbox, and you can catch us now on Spotify. Well, the profile set up, the RSS feed's been enabled, but for some reason I can't find us. But I just emailed their help desk, and hopefully by the end of the day, the Podcasting Dead will be something you can find on Spotify.
I'm
that
excited.
way, when you're having a party and your friends are there, instead of playing music, you can just play us. And they'll probably be like
parties.
No, I know. JP really, believe it or not, JP will go out and party, but JP is not really the party animal you would think he is.
No, I don't like social settings.
He doesn't like crowds. He gets nervous around my friends.
Well, there's some sinister people.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're
sinister
not.
people.
I mean, I know Joey's like 7 foot. Like, seriously, one of my best friends is like not too many inches shy of being 7 foot tall, so I'm sure that's probably a little
very
intimidating.
menacing facial hair. Even the girls.
Yeah, we all do. I think most of us do have some form of facial hair. I think.
Yeah, it's like the mustaches that twirl upwards. Like
no, we don't. No one has one of those.
Tie a damsel to a railroad.
No one has one of those.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is today's Thursday, and I'm trying to think what all we need to get out before we dive into answering the questions. Don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Periscope. It's easy. Just I'm Justin Lloyd, all lowercase, no apostrophe, 2 L's in Lloyd. I'm Justin Lloyd. That'll get you Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope. Also, follow the Podcasting Dead on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we sure do.
And we update it from time to time. But if we start getting more interaction there, we'll definitely start using it a bit more. I feel like Facebook's kind of in the beginning stages of being on its way out. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but I just feel like people are branching out and using other forms of social media way more than Facebook.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely becoming more of like an old people's kind of thing. You know, when your grandma's on something like that,
right?
It's just not cool anymore.
It just takes away the coolness. And I think we're getting to the age where our presence makes it not quite that cool anymore.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we do have a Facebook. We need to start an Instagram at some point, but I guess we need to actually start going out and doing stuff to make that Instagram interesting.
Instagram even does.
It's pretty cool, man. You should check it out.
I'm a Periscope guy, man. I love my Periscope.
JP's, which is perfect segue. JP's social media information. You can get them on Periscope. It's really simple. Just JP Slim, all lowercase. JP Slim. And you can get him on Snapchat at J_Radsaw, correct?
Yeah, I don't really use the Snap much, but Periscope,
you can communicate. I communicate with him a lot on Snap.
Me,
like I'll send him music or stuff through a Snap. But yeah, so I think we're good. Let's get to the mail call. Let me find last week's mail call. I should have had that pulled up, and I apologize.
Mail call.
We should have that recorded and let it be our official intro.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, let's see here. All right. So let's get into the comments section. Alex Jimenez says, I'm posting this comment after the Pike reveal, so hopefully there's no spoilers. Since Henry was killed off, do you think Ezekiel is safe? I wonder about Rosita, too. Who could be killed in the Whisperer War Season 10? I really hope next season is this strong and that Lydia can become a great asset to the crew. She has become one of my favorites this season, as well as Gabriel. It's crazy to see how far he's come. He signed that treaty on behalf of Alexandria. Alex, you're right, man. I mean, it really, when you go back and you look at Father Gabriel, how much we hated him in season 5 or season?
I'm still not. Well,
no, it was season 6. I think is the part where. No, season 5, I think, is where he tried to betray Rick in the group, told Deanne all of that. And then season 6 was where, he was posting the flyers and Rick was ripping them down. But, yeah, I agree. I like Father Gabriel quite a bit now.
I mean, he still creeps me out, but he's...
That hat, man. That hat is straight children. I feel like he should have an army. I felt like he should have been leading that army of children, that army, that Michonne fought.
Well, for one thing, he's getting a lot more butt than anybody in Alexandria.
Go figure. He gets that freaky eye and gets more butt.
But I'm telling you, man, my gal got knocked up by another dude. I would be out. I'd probably be out even if it was mine, but especially another guy.
JP is going to make such a great father one day.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm fleeing the scene, brother.
He's like, no, I'm not, because I won't be there.
Whenever I microwave something, I put my gonads right up to the door, so hopefully it, kills all them suckers.
You could just go get a vasectomy and then problem solved.
Oh, they ain't cutting on me, man. They ain't cutting on me.
Shoot,
Every surgery
I'm going to get one. So now after my daughter is born, man, I'm not planning on.
You need a set.
No, I'm good. I told my girlfriend if she wants to go off and find her another guy and have another baby and start a new life, that's cool. As long as I can, see my kid. That way, my kid can have a sibling. I don't have to
go to a sperm bank, provide the sample. If you take all the responsibility's yours, but you can just have a little me.
No, that's not going to happen.
Nestled up to your bosom.
I like Lydia too. I think the actress that plays her is a really good. I'm sorry that I don't know her name off the top of my head, but she's a really good actress.
Yeah, man.
She's really just really to have only been in a few episodes compared to how long the show's been going. I feel like she definitely belongs. She fits very well with the rest of the cast. So. Yeah, I hope to see Lydia because I think she will become an asset. I mean, I remember I've got the big 6 foot long comic Whisperer War poster, and she's right in the middle. It's basically Rick, Negan, Andrea, everybody's fighting the Whisperers, and right up in there on their side helping them fight is Lydia on the poster. So, yeah, I'm sure she'll be an asset. And I don't know, man. I'm really scared about an Ezekiel Rosita fake out. I'm really scared that they tried to fake us out. They made us feel like they were safe with the whole Pike thing. Now, obviously, we're going to get into spoilers, so that should go without saying once we... Anyways. But, yeah, I am kind of scared that we're whew... Because JP and I both were we really don't want Ezekiel to die. We know it's iconic in the comics, but we just really don't want to lose. I mean, Kari Payton that plays him is just so awesome.
And it's just so warm, yeah.
I don't want to be without him, but I feel like we breathed easy, but I feel like, maybe even next episode, it is the finale.
Yeah, man, I could see Father Gabriel going.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to save Father Gabriel from his comic thing. I don't want to really spoil the comics too much, but
it's going to go a different way.
No, I'm thinking they might keep it the same way. They kind of teased it earlier in the season.
They did
with the whole ladder thing, and so I don't know, man. Rosita, I don't think they're going to kill her because I feel like they're probably not going to kill a pregnant woman on the show. They did in the comics, but I just don't know that the show would go that route. I feel like they want to take that a different, but I could be wrong. We could see.
That'd be crazy, man. A zombie fetus crawling out of her dead body. Jeez, Louise, that would be awful. That'd
be nasty.
That's what would happen, right?
I don't know if it would crawl, but it would probably definitely be there, moving around undead. Remember the what was it? The Dawn of the Dead remake?
Yeah, dude.
With the zombie baby.
The zombie baby.
That was crazy. Let's see. Tony O seems to really like the idea of the 90s podcast.
Ooh.
So maybe we'll do that's something I want to start doing too, because some of the things that we want to podcast about, I don't know that they would make good ongoing series forever and ever, but they might make good little limited series.
Yeah, I would say the 90s, we'll break it down into TV shows, cartoons.
Right, we'll do maybe a 5 to 10 part, little
different categories.
Yeah, I do like that idea of doing episode 1, we talk about shows and cartoons of the 90s. Episode 2, we might cover toys and clothes, and episode 3, You know what I mean? Just kind of, that would be really cool. Break it down. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. We're definitely still doing that paranormal podcast. I promise you. Our first guest will either be our friend Jesse or our friend Andrew next door at the comic shop, because they have a lot of paranormal experiences. Tony O also says, Justin, check out Deadly Class on Sci-Fi. Great show, great music backdrop with a variety of interesting characters. Love how much your topics are expanding. You guys keep rocking. Dumpster Cat update, JP. Oh, you remember that? That was man, your memory, Tony.
Anything, but Deadly Class, I've actually read the first maybe 6 to 12 issues, and it's a cool Rick Remender. We were talking about him yesterday. That's the title of his. Right. So yeah, good stuff.
But do you remember the alley cat? I mean, the dumpster cat?
What was I talking about?
That's back when I announced that I was having a baby.
Oh, right.
My girlfriend's having a baby. And you said that you could relate because you were trying to coax this cat at the dumpster to, just accept you.
The cat wouldn't come, so that's that.
Did he run away? Do you still see him from now?
Not so much, no.
Oh, man, that story took a sad turn. Yeah. Jonas, longtime listener, I know. Jonas, man, this tablet sucks. It doesn't suck. It's a great tablet. It's just very old, and I probably need one a little bit bigger. Jonas Balili. I think I said that right. If I didn't, Jonas, I'm so sorry. But longtime listener, we love him. My favorite thing about the 90s was the Attitude Era and WWF.
Oh,
JP's probably right there with you. Did any of you watch wrestling back then?
Yeah, I was watching it. Yeah,
I did definitely. Back with the Heartbreak. Was it Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, dude. I mean, wrestling was entertaining back then. Now it's just awful.
Triple H and
Stone Cold,
DX.
Rock. Yeah, it was great. Even WCW had good stuff.
The WCW, I was actually the weird kid. Well, not weird, but just the odd kid out, because actually WCW was my favorite. Like, I like WWF, and I know that it was more like kids liked it because it was more edgy, more grown up. But I just love WCW, man. I love the storyline. Sting and Goldberg and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
They got too carried away with the NWO stuff, man. It ended up everybody was a part of the NWO.
The Wolfpack's back.
Right.
I like the Wolfpack. I like the red and black face paint instead of NWO Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah.
I was more into the red. Oh, and the morning wouldn't be complete without our EAS test. If you're not familiar with radio, you hear these things on your television, you hear them on the radio. Yes, they can save lives, but they are extremely annoying if you are here in the studio, because the FCC mandates that we actually have to have the module in studio, and the module itself makes noise. So oh man, you can turn the volume on it down, but I mean, it's still very loud and obnoxious, and it loves to pop up when you're in the middle of something. Yeah. I wish there was some kind of warning tone that you knew that, in 30 seconds, anyways. Let's see. Music Michelle K says you two are hilarious. Well, thank you.
No.
That's what we go for. Hilarity. Is that even a word? Hilarity? Is that a word?
I think so.
Hilarity?
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
If it's not, coin that bad boy. Brianne McCann, longtime listener, says, hey guys, so many comments I would add to this video, but then you might have an annoying amount of Brianne on one podcast. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's no such thing as an annoying amount of Brianne. But this is to the listeners first and foremost. Ask those questions, guys. We don't want to lose mail call. True, because we were talking about it. If you didn't catch our Random Rambling Wednesdays yesterday, we were talking about possibly doing away with the mail call, because when we first started it, we were blown away how many questions we were getting, and then and I understand maybe it should be something we should do once a month as opposed to once a week.
Still incorporate it into something.
Yeah, as I was going to say, JP had the idea of maybe tying it into Random Rambling Wednesdays or something. So. But, I mean, if the questions continue to come, we'll continue to ask them. But,
yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I agree with Brianne, man. Ask those questions. Okay, so now for hers. What constitutes as sexy to you in a woman? Since JP was dead set on saying Melissa McBride did most definitely not. So what's your idea of sexy, boys? Do you mean what's our idea of sexy boys? Or were you saying what's your idea of sexy boys? We'll let JP do both. Hope you both have a great weekend and enjoy the episode. P.S. Justin, your biggest accomplishment, your baby, is a great answer. My Tyler is definitely mine. I'm sure that you are an awesome mom, Brianne. She said, or the listener should submit multiple questions so we don't lose mail call. By the way, it's snowing like a mother effer today. Spring is not in Ohio today, clearly. So, JP, let's let you go first. What constitutes sexy in a woman/boy for you? I feel like you don't mind answering.
Nah, man. I'm a leg man. I really like some...
Humping legs?
Well, I mean...
Like a little dog, you just jump on the leg and start going
junk all over them, but I like...
I bet that's the weirdest foreplay ever. Your girlfriend probably lays there and is just like...
I like some supple thighs, man. I like a nice calf, and I'm a toe guy. I'd be licking some feet and sucking some toes. And let's not forget...
No, you don't.
I do, man.
Feet gross me out.
It's not like an every...
It don't matter how attractive the female is, man. Her feet, I do not like feet.
The feet is a major erogenous zone, man. You get to sucking on some toes. Next thing you know, old girl's like rubbing on herself, man. That's... Dude. But no, and let's not forget the ass is just the top of the leg. So yeah, I'm a leg man.
All right. Okay.
And I like some full lips as well.
We've learned something.
Well, I said nothing. What does Melissa McBride have? She's like an old withered broomstick.
You've never seen her. Have you ever actually looked at her behind the scenes? I know you don't watch a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
What is she wearing? Like some kind of girdle that holds everything? She's
a very pretty lady.
Like J-Lo if she's not in her flannel shirt or whatever. Man, she is not pretty. Show me a picture from 30 years ago.
We will have to agree to disagree on this one because there's no way I would take Daryl over Carol, as JP stated he would do last week.
Sucking Daryl's toes.
Oh my God, that is gross, man. That guy's feet probably smell like ass crack. He hasn't showered on the show in
I'd give him a
since the world. It seems like he hadn't showered since the world was normal. I think he got somewhat of a bath when he was in the creek in season 2, that Chupacabra episode. But yeah, so we've learned JP has a foot.
I thought that was already common knowledge.
I don't think that we knew that.
That up, yeah.
If anybody else knew that, let me know in the comments. I think this is as grossed out as I am by feet. I feel like that's something that would have stuck in my brain, but I don't remember you ever saying that you liked feet.
And them crinkles on the bottom of the foot.
Oh my God! Yeah, man! Brother. Oh my God! So as far as what I find attractive in a female, slightly different. Definitely not the feet. I don't know. Are we just talking about physical features, or are we talking about
your idea of beauty is? Man.
I'm turned on by
oh God, intellect. Here we go. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I do like a smart, independent girl. That's kind of a turn. It's not just I want to spend my life with her. I'm just talking about as far as a turn on, a girl that can.
Dude, how are you going to manipulate her if she's so smart?
Some of us don't have to manipulate girls to get butt. Some of us just actually are able to get butt.
Oh my God.
By being straight up. JP.
I wish I lived in the same fairy tale as you, but
Your fairy tale is my reality, homie. But I don't know. I like girls with attitudes. I've always had a thing kind of for more petite girls, petite frames. Not to say I haven't dated plenty of girls that had normal frames. I mean, my current girlfriend now is actually pretty tall.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just it's different things. I mean, as far as I feel like I have a girlfriend, anything I say physically here is going to get me in trouble.
What's your hair type? What kind of hair do you like on a lady?
I've always liked brunettes. There have been plenty of blondes out there that I'm like, I could change up for that. You know what I'm saying? But brunette, I think if you look at my track record, I think pretty much every serious girlfriend I've had or every long-standing relationship has been with a brunette.
My first 2 loves were redheads, and they were monsters. So I'm the only group of people I'm prejudiced against are redheaded women, unless they're just really, really hot and down to give me some butt. In which case, I make an exception. But
I feel like you'll make an exception for anyone that'll give you butt.
But
yeah, I don't think I've ever actually dated a redhead. It's not that I don't like redheads. It's just never the opportunity has not presented itself. Yeah. But. I like butts. I like boobs, too. Between, boobs and butt man, I think I'm more of a boob man.
No, I'm more of an ass man.
But then again, I do like the butt, too, so I don't know. That's a tough choice. For me, it's a case-by-case basis. I don't think it's hard to answer. It's a hard question to answer because I'm more of a case-by-case basis, because...
I just like having 2 big old cheeks to wedge up against, when I'm laying down to sleep, you get on your side.
You sleep with your head on her butt?
No.
Or between her boobs?
I'm talking about, my wiener. I wedge it between the big cheeks.
Oh, my God.
You asked, brother.
I mean, it happens.
It does.
I mean, you cuddle, that happens, but I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I make sure it happens.
I just wasn't saying. What I was going to add something to that. Brianne, question for you. What do you find attractive in men? Do you like muscular men? Do you like slim men? Do you like chunky men? Dad bod? Rock bod? Do you like tall, short? Do you like smart? Do you like some women in today's world, man, the beta male thing has really surprised me. Girls just falling in love with like the beta male thing. Do you like alpha males, beta males? Like what do you like, Brianne, or any other female that's listening? What do you like in a guy?
Let us know. Maybe we can set you up. We got a stable of fellas just raring and waiting. Ship them right to you.
Just sitting there waiting to be bred.
Yeah, mail order husband right here. Nominal fee.
Yeah, but it's a small fee.
Yeah.
It's a small fee for a good time. Create Till Death says, holy schnit, thank you for turning me on to the band Stepdad on that last podcast. I love it. That's what I do. I love nothing. I think as a long-standing music fan, and I think a lot of music fans can agree, very few things are more gratifying than showing someone music and they love it. You know what I mean? It's one thing when they're like, yeah, it's pretty cool, which is what I get a lot. But a lot of my friends listen to country, and I mean like more modern country. And there's not a lot of modern country I can get down with. Some, but not a lot. So a lot of times when I show them things like Stepdad or whatever, it's just kind of like, oh. Huh.
And music's definitely like a universal language. And it just is.
It almost outdates us in a way. I mean, I know that people make music, but I feel like the universe kind of makes its own music in a way. Because I was in Food Line yesterday buying some stuff, and there was this freezer making this really weird noise, and something else was like a fan or something, and it sounded like a beat. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there like trying to figure out where these sweet potato patties are, which by the way, I hate sweet potatoes. I think they're disgusting.
I don't eat.
But I was buying I'm cooking dinner. It's my sister's birthday, so I'm doing pork chops and stuff. So I was looking for those, and while I was sitting there just kind of looking, I heard that, and I kind of like found my foot tapping. I'm like, so there are just natural things that could kind of go with music. But let's see. Jovigal says, wrong answer. LOL. Love you, Justin. I'm glad to hear that you have my back on this one. Carol is the schnit.
I mean, she's cool.
She's tough.
Fierce,
she takes no schnit.
Sexy.
She can read people better than almost anyone. She gets the job done. Oh, and she bakes. The woman is badass, and that is sexy AF. It's cool, JP. You do Daryl. I'm happy to watch.
Well, we'll try to make that happen. But look, I mean,
can you both shower beforehand?
I agree with all that stuff, but that stuff does not make a sexy woman.
Well, sometimes sexy is not just attractive. It's not just attributed to physical. Like there are,
get out of here.
I've had many. There's been plenty of times where you're attracted to someone purely off of their personality. It is possible.
The way she described Carol is exactly how I would describe my Granny Nana, and my Granny Nana is not sexy.
Well, because she's your granny, but somebody else might find her sexy because of those things.
I mean, look, she was a looker, in her day, but she's like almost 80 now.
Well, Melissa McBride's not almost 80. She's like in her 50s, if I had to guess.
Dude, no.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean, the question was her, Daryl, so I'm going with her all day.
Naked, she looks like a prepubescent boy. I bet she does.
Why would you put that there? But some people can be attracted to personality. I've had females before where, I mean, yes, they were pretty, but what really drew me in was the personality.
I bet they still look better than Carol, though.
I mean, yeah, but still.
You see what I'm saying?
When she's off the show, man, and she's fixed up, she is a pretty lady, I promise you.
Geez.
And some of the girls, or some of the women that you used to once upon a time, back me up, listeners, I'm pretty sure once upon a time we've heard you pretty much say that you're almost willing to give it to anybody that'll give you the butt.
I mean, look, a hungry dog's going to eat, but, I mean, if I had my druthers, I would not, like I said, I mean, I would put it in a freshly baked loaf of bread before I'd put it in Carol.
Oh, my goodness.
That's all I'm saying.
Way to ruin a perfectly good loaf of bread.
That's true.
So, mail call question. How and when did you two meet?
Oh, man.
I feel like we talked about this already, but I don't. Well, we started to, and then we were like, well, we'll hold off. It was a mail call. Which, by the way, Jovi Gal, you're awesome. Jovi Gal, like Brianne, Gage Waltner, Brian Akeem, James Gallegos, and all of the people asking questions. Long-time listener, great supporter. You people are the reason why we keep doing this. JP and I met through this.
Well, our friend Jessie, who we've mentioned, she was the catalyst. You didn't meet me, but I mean, we were at a wedding that I performed.
That's so crazy. Yeah. I mean, so JP
we
and I would
like what 2007.
It was a long time. Yeah, that sounds about right. 2007 or 8.
I graduated in 06.
It's 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
Because that is funny. So Jesse like introduced us back in like 2015, 14, somewhere in that range, and because we were podcasting, but JP and I had actually been around each other. Jesse's been married twice now, right? This is her second wedding, I think, a second husband. But she got married to one of JP's longtime best friends, and JP actually officiated, like you officiated the wedding, right?
Yeah, I mean they got like legally married beforehand, just a little family thing. But for the sake of the whole thing, I did it, kind of as a gift.
Yeah, JP officiated, and I had no idea. I didn't even pay that. That's how little attention.
I was so hungover for that wedding.
I didn't. That was wild. But yeah, it was actually at our house, our parents' house. And JP, but we didn't even know each other then, and it would be another, God, man, think about it. Like, let's just say 2008, worst case, as far as 2008, it would be like another, like 8 years. No, it'd be like another 7 years before we would officially meet.
Yeah, man. And I was starting on yesterday, the catalyst, what happened. I hadn't seen Jesse in 5 years or more. And I go to the mall one day, stoned to the gills, want some Japanese food, run into Jessie, and I just start talking wild stuff like I talk sometimes, and she got to laughing, and she brings up that her and her friend Justin are looking to do a podcast. She'd like to have me on it. Next thing I know, I'm a guest on the podcast. I go from a guest to a regular, and snowballed from there.
He was just so damn charming. We kept him around,
Yeah, man, it was weird. She was with her then boyfriend. I don't know his name, but talk about a prepubescent boy. He looked like.
You talking about I don't know, the dude from Richmond?
I mean, he was cute. No, he was from South.
He was cute.
He was cute as a button, but he looked about like a 12-year-old Justin Bieber.
You're talking about, all right, see, our friend Jessie goes through stages of who she dates. Like at some point, she's been attracted to the more punk rocker looking guys, right. Like the ripped jeans and just all of that. Then sometimes and then she was going through a country phase. This was the little kid. This was the little guy that hunted a lot and stuff, right?
The only thing he looked like he was hunting for to me was like Easter eggs.
He was really short, right? Like really short guy.
Like a mop of hair.
Which I'm not downing hunting. I hunt every hunting season. I fish.
I said he was
backpack. I camp. But I'm saying like this kid was really, really into hunting and like. Yeah, she went through her little phase with him.
It would have been perfect for her to take to like middle school prom. That's what he looked like.
She could stuff him in her purse and just take him anywhere.
It was cute as a button.
So that's who she was dating when you. Okay, yeah, but so Jesse and I were already podcasting. It was a small little project, and it didn't get nowhere near as much response as this. Like we would have like one or two main people that would listen, and it's because we didn't understand the importance of having like a direction. We just got on there and talked about random crap and expected people we expected people to find it. So whereas this time we got it right and we started off with something we focused on, which was The Walking Dead, which is what connected us to all of you, and then now we're able to branch out and expand while keeping what we started. We'll never not talk about The Walking Dead, but we just have added to it.
Had time to watch The Walking Dead. She'd be here right here with us. That's the only reason she stopped podcasting. It's because she didn't watch the show.
She started listening to our podcast like a year or two ago and told me she really wanted to start watching The Walking Dead so she could understand the podcast more. But she's going to be on our paranormal podcast. But that's how we met. Jesse just texted me one day and said, my old pal JP, I ran into him at the mall. He's really funny. I would love to have him on the podcast. Would it be cool to bring him Wednesday? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
So, because our other regular Joey, the guy that was really, really tall, he was kind of in and out depending on his work schedule. So we actually had a third seat to fill. So
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. The ones I watched with him, he didn't seem like he brought a lot. That's just my opinion.
I thought he did.
I don't know, man.
That's mean. He's an active listener and fan, and you're going to be stuck on top of a mountain with him.
I didn't hear him say that much.
You're going to be stuck on top of a mountain with him on Saturday.
We may have to fight to the death.
He's like 7 foot tall. Brother. You will not win.
And a lot of that was me being salty. I was like, man, I'm way better than that guy. Look
JP was being salty and had no idea that even if Joey would have stuck with it, that we could have had myself, Jesse, JP, and Joey all on the podcast.
That's been a full
boat. But yeah, so no, Joey, well, and Joey too. Joey was only on a couple of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was on a few. Yeah.
All right, longtime listener and follower Gage Waldner says, mail call. I feel like every year I heard people talking about March Madness, but this year it's completely slipped under my radar. It's more of I'm as more of a baseball fan. Have you guys been keeping up with March Madness? If so, how are your brackets? Thanks, guys.
That's all you, brother.
I'm keeping up with March Madness. I didn't make a bracket this year. I feel bad. I've only made a bracket a couple of times. Like I just follow Duke. I get notifications, when they play. I watch the game. I read articles, but I don't really keep up so much with what everybody else is doing.
What's the importance of the bracket?
Well, you do a bracket to project. Like a lot of people can make killer money off of it.
Stuff,
in a way, a lot of people will make brackets, and if your bracket is right, or depending on the level of accuracy in your bracket, you could make some money if you enter leagues that are. But I mean, it's just like friendly competition. Offices will do it. People will fill out their brackets on who they think is going to win and how it's going to come down.
Right.
But I don't know. I didn't fill out a bracket this year. I probably will next year. But yeah, just following Duke, man. They about gave me a heart attack. What night was that? Was that Friday night? Who did that? I can't remember what night it was. I think it was Friday night, that really close game. They won by 1 point. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Sunday. But yeah, either way, Duke's been giving me heart attacks this year, man. We've had some games that were way too close. So, yeah, let's just not do that. Zion Williamson coming back was incredible, but yeah, man. So Gage, I'm more of a baseball fan too. While I love college basketball, my favorite sport is absolutely baseball. I'm a Red Sox fan. Who do you pull for? And in college basketball, who do you pull for? Let's see. Brian Akeem, about my question, the ship between Connie and... last week we got his question all wrong.
Oh, what did we say?
Brian was talking about, would we rather, if Connie and Daryl got together, would we rather it be Carol or Donnie?
Oh, the names. Oh.
I'm going to go with Donnie just because we already have a Carol.
Yeah, that'd get too confusing.
So Donnie it is. James Gallegos says, what celebrity would you want to interview and what questions would you want to ask him or her? See, James, everybody's questions have been great, but that right there is such a cool question.
That's a good one, yeah.
JP, let's go with you. I'm sure you've got plenty of them being such a Stern fan.
Oh yeah, man. For one thing, I would love to sit in on the Joe Rogan podcast. I'd love to meet Willie Nelson. I'd probably ask him where the blunt was at and why isn't it in rotation. And yeah, I love them. A big Stern fan. That's what kind of gave me the itch to get into radio.
Right.
Well, are we talking alive and dead or what?
Yeah, let's make it interesting. Alive or dead? Well, let's do two. Let's do alive and then do a alive or dead.
Well, Willie Nelson and Joe Rogan both still alive. Charles Bukowski.
I figured yours would be who's that outlaw country artist? Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah.
Especially all the wild stuff he's done.
Yeah, man. That'd be wild for sure. But yeah, Charles Bukowski. I'd love to meet him. Who else? I don't even know, man. It's hard to think of stuff.
I really can't narrow it down to one, so I am sorry about that. I'd have to really think about it. Like, number one, you just hear me talk about her a lot. It almost sounds like I'm obsessed with her. I'm really not. I'm just such a big fan of her work. But Sarah Paulson, I would love to. And she seems so cool, too. Like, she seems like she'd be a fun interview because we've interviewed some celebrities and some racers and music artists and stuff like that. And some of them are really cool and some of them really suck as people. Like, they just suck to talk to. I mean, you could get a better interview out of the wall over there. Like, they really, to them, it's just a job. They find no enjoyment in it. But Sarah Paulson looks like one of those people you could have a fun interview with. She doesn't seem to take herself too seriously. I think cool. I admire her acting ability. I think she's phenomenal. Also, believe it or not, this one's kind of random.
Okay.
Craig Robinson, the guy that plays, he's been on a lot of stuff. He was in The Office. I've been through
the Daryl.
Daryl, I'm so sorry that I couldn't. I've been through The Office like 12 times, and I just names slip my mind all the time. But Daryl, he just seems like, and he's been through a lot. He actually was like addicted to drugs and all of that. But this is just like the most naturally funny guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like him. I just think he seems, I don't know.
And man, Larry
dry
David,
wit.
The co-creator of Seinfeld, loved to meet Larry David. At the end of the day, though, man, I learned a while back, meeting your heroes, it never pans out.
I've never met any of my true heroes, but I have definitely met some celebrities that I think were other people's heroes, and it's like you want to tell them, move along, find someone else. That guy or gal sucks.
I was going to say, you've got a pretty cool little Rolodex of celebrity interviews. I think my biggest name I've interviewed was Butch James.
That's
from,
right.
The Stallions fame.
I don't know what happened, man. Before JP got to the station, we had all these celebrity interviews lined up, and then I don't think JP did anything, but it just, the fate has had it that maybe it's just because of how unfiltered JP is. The universe knew it probably was not good for the station to put him around a celebrity.
Could be. I was supposed to interview John Conley, but that fell through. Mr. Rose-colored glasses, a 80s country icon.
God, I hate that song.
Yes.
You don't like it either?
I like Backside of 30. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's not my main answer. Matt that used to podcast with us, his was really good. I think he said if he could interview one celebrity, it would be Steve Carell. Yeah. And I could get down with that. He just seems like one of the most down to earth. And everybody that works with him says he is just like one of the most genuinely nice people out there.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I met Mark Maron a few years ago. And, he's a famous podcaster. I don't know if he still has a sitcom.
Actually, just was listening to one of his podcasts, WTF with Mark Maron.
Yeah, man. Like that is another thing that really inspired me to want to, really get into this thing, which now I've heard he's a lot more like, it's a lot more politically centered.
Oh, come on,
man. I've drifted away from it. But I love his conversational style of interview. But I met him after his stand-up show in Asheville, and I don't know. I said something really corny and was really embarrassed and was just like, sign this, please. $20. Goodbye.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I told him I was in line. And I made like a Bill Cosby joke, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of like the opener for the opener. And he was just like,
Neil Patrick Harris is another one I'd love to interview.
Oh, man, I bet I've
been such a fan of his, like, since How I Met Your Mother, and, like, when he came back on Harold and Kumar. He really is talented. Like, he can do anything. He can sing. He can play drama. He can be funny. Like,
incredible.
I think my wanting to interview is more based on just people I admire, which might not be a good thing because they're far more talented than I am, and they might they might look at me as just this annoying little like interviewer. But Neil Patrick Harris, I've got more of a list than one person. It's hard to really pick out one. Podcast. Yeah,
I'm telling you, who was really cool, man, was Chuck Palahniuk.
Chuck Palahniuk, author of my favorite, the book that became my favorite movie of all time.
Met him at a Comic-Con.
He seems like he'd be. He's very. He does it like even though I'm not that big a fan of Fight Club 2 and 3, the graphic novels, because they're not really that good. Mm-hmm. I do appreciate that he doesn't seem to take himself very seriously. You know what I mean? Like, he does what he does, and if you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. You got to be able to pick out your own flaws, man, or your own issues. You can't, But yeah, great question, Brian. Very thought-provoking. I will think more in depth on just one that I would pick. Because, there's a lot of others, too, like Joe Rogan. I would love to interview Joe Rogan, man.
I'd love to just sit in on that podcast. Hunter S. Thompson, I think that'd be a cool conversation.
Yep. Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's a lot of them out there, man. I'm just thinking of, like, actors, celebrities. I haven't even started thinking about athletes. There's a ton of athletes I'd love to interview.
I don't know what to say to any of them.
A lot of musicians. My favorite band ever is Breaking Benjamin. I've loved them for a very, very, very long time, and I would love to interview Ben Burnley. Like, he actually retweeted me one time.
No kidding.
And of all the people I've talked to, met, and all of that, we hung out one time on Charlie Daniels' tour bus. Like, I got pictures of it. Just hung out. Like, we didn't just do a meet and greet. Like, we just went in there and hung out. We did the same thing with ZZ Top. Hung out with Dusty Hill for a while. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah,
when we get to talking about them, but I have to think about that. But yeah, man, it's a lot of people. Gosh, I'm trying to think. A lot of celebrities.
A lot of people.
But yeah, no, those are some of the ones that I've just watched, and I've been like, I bet they would be fun in an interview. You know what I mean? Like Sarah Paulson seems like she'd be fun. I don't know how I could work with her as a podcaster. I'm a musician, but I haven't picked up my guitar in a long, long time. I haven't even written a song in forever, but I don't know how I'd work with her, but I'd love to work with Sarah Paulson in some way. Or Neil Patrick Harris or Steve Carell, any of them, man. Let's see, moving on. No, James asked that question. I said Brian. Brian asked the question about the Connie Darrell. James asked the question about what celebrity. Good question, James. Very thought-provoking. I'm sure by now he probably went ahead and commented and was like, that was my question.
Yeah.
But hopefully you got to this point in the podcast where we give you credit for it. But good question, James. Brian Akeem, Why didn't Aaron, Rosita, Eugene, Gabriel, Scott, and or the other parents go with Michonne and Daryl to get back the kids? I mean, it was just the two of them, and Michonne was heavily pregnant. This is a good question. You were talking about that on the episode review. Like, I would have been like, Michonne, I know you're a fighter, you're badass, but you're also carrying a baby that could pop out at any minute. You stay here. You know, I'm Daryl. Yeah. You know I'm going to get that baby back. As
solid as this season has been, I thought that was a little underwhelming, the whole thing with the scars and, whatever.
Here is let's see. Yeah, I don't know why they stayed back. Maybe Michonne and Daryl didn't really tell everybody where they were going exactly. I don't know. That is a weird question. You got a whole community backing you. Why not just take a few of them?
Yeah, bring a whole away team.
Pamela Ann says, I can't help but think that I can't help but think that episode will be a letdown. I hope not, but I saw the spoiler lineup. Won't spoil it, but did nothing for me personally. Must be talking about the Pikes.
Okay.
Oh, man. Hopefully, maybe there was something on there you weren't expecting and you were happy with. But
let us know.
James says, what is the weirdest pet you have or have ever owned?
I don't know, man. I've had a lizard when I was a kid. I don't know what kind of lizard, but it was a lizard.
I had a chinchilla.
I don't know what that is.
Chinchilla fur, that's what they're like. The rappers and the celebrities used to wear. Like chinchilla, it's really soft.
A weasel or something?
No, it's like I'll pull up a picture. Chinchillas are awesome. Chinchillas make great pets. They're nocturnal though, so they are a lot more active at night. So like in their little cages, like I let mine out and let it run around the house. But at night they can be pretty active in their little cages, and but they are the coolest pets. You don't have to bathe them. Like the way they bathe is you put a bowl of like this. They clean themselves with dirt, basically sand, but you can put like this powdered sand in there that makes them smell better. And when they get to rolling around in it, man, I mean, I know I'm going to lose my man card here for a second, but it's one of the cutest damn things you've ever seen.
Ooh-wee.
But let me look up a chinchilla real quick. If you don't know what a chinchilla is, look them up. They really do make great pets. They fit in the palm of your hand. They get a decent size, but nothing you can't hold in your hands. And they also can, like, from the ground, just about jump over your head.
Doggone.
Let's see. That was the most random purchase of my life, too. Like, I seriously just walked into a pet shop, saw it, loved it, walked out of there, $200 poorer, but I had a cute little chinchilla to take home.
Okay. Well, how do you like that?
And they really are. Like, mine was really friendly. He didn't bite. The only reason I did end up getting rid of him, but it's because I had started working out of town, and I was working a night shift, which is when he's most active. Yeah. So like originally I would take him out once it started getting nighttime and he got active. I let him run around and play with him and stuff. He'd usually come on right back to me, but once I started working, I was like, that's a terrible life for an animal to just be stuck in a cage because I don't have any. During the day it wants to sleep, so when I'm up So I just actually gave him to a good friend that I knew would take good care of him, and he lived a long, very happy life.
Well, there you go.
And I told him when I was like, man, make sure that you let him out, you let him play because he's used to being out. He'll come back to you. He don't get into anything. They're fun, man. I'm trying to find. I just want to get your reaction on the podcast. I'm trying to find a video of a chinchilla bathing.
Oh my gosh!
Here we go. You ready?
I don't know that I am.
You are. Trust me, you are. Skip trial. Stop trying to sell me things, YouTube. Okay, we got to go through an ad first, but JP is going to watch this chinchilla bathing. You put the sand in the thing. And they love it, too. You know what I mean? Like, when you do it, not only does it clean them, but it just puts them in the best moods. But, yeah, so chinchilla was my weirdest. So yours was like a lizard?
Yeah, I had a lizard. Like I said, mostly just cats and dogs. Hamsters, a little while.
What you're not seeing in this video, because he's on all fours, a lot of times they'll sit up on their back feet. Yeah. And they'll actually grab things with their hands, much like a squirrel. So they'll use two hands like a person or squirrel or raccoon will. So they'll sit up on their back legs. If I would give him like an apple, there's certain foods they cannot have. So I'd give him like a certain piece of fruit, and like he would just take it with two hands and just nibble on it. But they are really cool pets, man. They're kind of like hamsters or gerbils that are actually interactive. You know what I mean? Like a hamster gerbil's cool, but they essentially just crawl around and all. Like chinchillas, you can actually play with. They've got a lot of energy. They're very cute. I've heard some people say theirs would bite a little bit, but mine never did. He was very friendly. A little scared when I first got him, but yeah. But yeah, ain't that cute?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Learn something new every day.
And like I said, that dust, man, you can get it to where it's not scented that'll hurt their skin, but it's more, it makes them smell good. Like after you pick them up after that, man, it's really cool. But yeah, chinchilla was mine. I love my little chinchilla. I definitely, now that I'm having a daughter, I'm definitely thinking about, maybe down the road getting her one when she gets a little older. Oh, okay. They're really not that hard to maintain either. You can clean out their cage, but yeah, now I have to get back to YouTube so we can answer your questions. JP, entertain us with a song. Even your mail call song is fine.
The redheaded stranger from Blue Rock, Montana, rolled into town one day under a fiend's raging black stallion, riding wild was a babe.
That was beautiful. I can't even look at you right now.
Yeah, it's my favorite album. I haven't listened to it in a long time, though. I used to know all the words.
JP loves him some Willie. He's got the best Willie Nelson album cover over next door in the other studio.
The back half of it is like the flip side of the album.
Willie's just like tripping on peyote, chilling in the desert.
He is tripping his balls off, yeah, and I certainly hope he is.
All right, let's see. We are... Dose Education says, Saludos, amigos. I probably said that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's hello, right?
Yeah, sounds right.
Or cheers or something to that effect. I used to be fluid, not fluid, but I used to could understand. But either way, hello, my friend. Thank you so much for the comment, and thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you a whole lot.
Oh, yeah, we love you.
Let's see. We're getting towards the end here. Let's see. Let's go on down. All right. Jeep, long-time listener.
Long time.
Melissa McBride is very pretty, but that wig they put on her this season makes her look like she's about 80 years old. And I'm like you guys.
She's about 80 years old.
I don't want to be anybody's burden at any point in my life, so I'd rather go out with my dignity. So mail call. If you found out you only had 2 weeks to live, how would you want to spend it? Man, I love questions like this. These are the fun questions, man. Keep these coming. How would you spend it? Like, what's on your bucket list? I got the same problem with sleeping, Justin, except in my case, it's one of my cats that's constantly trying to sleep in my ass crack. Or if he isn't doing that, he's sitting and staring at me as if he wishes he had thumbs and he could hold a knife and kill me in my sleep. Yeah, cats do that. Eerie as hell when you wake up like that. I agree, Jeep. So, JP, if you find out you got 2 weeks to live, man, what are you doing? I'm scared of this answer. I'm not going to lie.
I'm just going to spend the 2 weeks in an opium den filled with prostitutes.
So you're going to spend all 2 weeks?
Oh, what, am I going to waste my time like skiing and seeing the Grand Canyon and going to Rome? No. I'm going to stay in an opium den and numb my brain and have sex with lots and lots of prostitutes. Suck on a lot of toes. Yeah, and that's it.
I don't know where those toes have been.
And I would just, that would be it.
So that's it?
That's
Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that'd be about it.
Oh, boy. Well, I would do a lot of the traveling that I never got to do. I would just take all the rest of my money and go travel. I would smoke a lot of weed, and I would drink a lot of whiskey, and I would go do the thing. Actually, you know what? That is in a perfect world what I would do. But honestly, if I had 2 weeks to live, probably what I would do, because with 2 weeks, you're not going to get to see everywhere you want to see. You could see a lot of places. To be completely honest, though, that's my fantasy of what I like to do. More realistically, if I found out I only had 2 weeks to live today, I would head on down to South Carolina, Jeep next to where you are. I'd rent a condo at Ocean Lakes for 2 weeks, and I would want to die at Ocean Lakes, and I would just back to what I said earlier. I'd have a few smokes, and I would sip on whiskey the whole time and just enjoy the last few days I had in my favorite place, hopefully surrounded by my favorite people. Hopefully, in that instance, I'd be able to get JP to come down on one of those trips.
I mean, it'd be in my opium den, though. It
didn't say, all right, let's put the scenario as I've got 2 weeks to live, and then after I die, you find out you have 2 weeks. So at this point, I'm not dying. You're not dying in this scenario.
Well, in order to deal with the sorrow I have, but for your situation, I'd still need to go to the opium den.
Why couldn't you just bring a lot of the opium prostitutes with you? You could just rent your own condo. This is what I'm saying. I'd be dying at Ocean Lakes, and I wouldn't be able to get JP to come see me for my last 2 weeks.
I would just be too emotional.
Yeah, I'm sure you would be.
Stay with the opium.
I'm sure you would be.
And prostitutes.
Great question, Jeep. I love the thought-provoking questions. And the last one. Oh, this isn't even a question. So,
encouragement. complaint.
Carlisle, I think. Carlisle RR. Love the face of mail call. Stan Lee, R.I.P. Have you seen the trailer for Netflix's new series, Black Summer? I haven't. Have you?
I haven't either.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't.
But yeah, Stan Lee is a cool cat.
Yep. R.I.P. And you said there was a question on the episode review, right?
I think so.
Hey.
There's quite a few,
that's us.
few comments, so it must be.
Yeah, there are, man. It's crazy. I think we would get excited over like 10 comments.
I screenshotted it, but we're my camera's on the.
Oh, and we are well aware that I got Frankie and DJ mixed up. DJ was the guy that he's just been there. I don't honestly know where he came from, but he's been there. He had kind of the Sawyer from Lost looking thing going. He had like
right.
He was with the Highwaymen on that last episode, and Frankie was one of Negan's wives. She was the redheaded gal. We just hadn't seen her that much.
If they haven't been on there since like season 3, I don't know who they are. So.
Right. But yeah, so we are aware that we messed that up. It was early in the morning. I had a list of names, and
look, it happens.
It happens.
And that's it.
I didn't actually have pictures to go with the names. That was my first mistake. Let's see. Are there any questions in here? JP, entertain them with song.
I thought it was in that one.
That is not a song.
Oh, I'm sorry. Trailers for sale are rent. Rooms rent 50 cents. No home, no pool, no pets. Ain't got no cigarettes.
Ryan Owen said, man, I wish you guys were on CastBox or Spotify. Well, Ryan, thanks to your suggestion, we are now on both.
Sure are.
Spotify, it's hard to find us. As I said earlier, I emailed their team, and we'll figure out why. But Jay Jones says, I've been waiting all day for this. I love capital letters with love.
Ooh.
Love you guys. Well, Jay Jones, we love you too. Thank you so much for listening.
I'm not going to go that far, but I do appreciate
You do love him.
I appreciate the sentiment.
You do love him.
I only love my bed, my mom. He's
talked about you several times, Jay Jones. He loves you.
Is that Jim Jones, the cultist?
No, I don't think so.
All those people?
I don't think so, because he died too, right?
I hope so.
It was cool watching an American Horror Story. That's another one I'd love to talk to. God, I'm so bad with names, but when I'm not on the spot or with a microphone, I got them. Homeboy from American Horror Story played Tate.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Thank you. God, I don't know where my brain goes sometimes. Evan Peters would be cool to interview. He seems like a pretty laid back guy, and he's just a great actor. He played a great Jim Jones. In America. Did you finish Colt?
I didn't watch Colt.
Colt was actually really good.
I saw the first couple episodes. It
was actually really good. I'm not seeing any questions on this one. I'm going to scroll to the end.
I don't know what video it was on, but it was basically about the kiss between the. I can't pull up any names in my brain today, but.
So it was about a lesbian kiss. All right, so we know Tara was a lesbian. You're talking about Magna and Yumiko.
Magna, yeah. I couldn't think of her name to save my life. Yeah. He was just saying, how could we not bring that up?
True. Well, they did kiss, as humans tend to do.
Oh, man.
And they're both very attractive people. Yeah. So,
Beautiful.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
As do I.
People kiss, though. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Is that the first time that we've seen them kiss? Like, I mean, we knew, we knew that was her girlfriend, but I know that I had thought, like, when I was reading things about it, and they're like, Magna's girlfriend, and I'm like, they really don't play them off much as girlfriends.
Yeah, I think that was the first taste we got of that.
If it wasn't, let us know. I mean, a lot happened this season, so it's very easy something slipped through the cracks. Again, if we started making enough money, we could quit this job here, and all we would do is watch The Walking Dead. Then we could actually be experts, and you could fuss at us for not knowing little things. But right now, all we have,
you got to send us a lot of money.
A lot.
I've got a PayPal. Look, it's just like Dr. Mike Murdoch said: plant an uncommon seed, reap an uncommon harvest. $300 is all we need from each and every one of you.
Who is Mike Murdoch?
He's like a televangelist who makes a lot of money.
I used to wake up every morning because I would leave it on. Because for a while, I had a terrible cable package. Like, I had really good internet, but I had a terrible cable package. And I would leave it on Channel 7 because they would play, I think it was Jimmy Fallon late night, maybe.
Yeah.
And I would wake up to televangelists talking about how all your prayers would be answered if you sent them a $20 something.
Like Mike Murdoch wanted more than that.
They were telling how like this one woman wrote, like, they would read testimonies. I sent in $20 last week and my prayers have already been answered, and we totally didn't just write that off screen a few minutes ago.
I'm telling you, brother.
I feel so bad for the people that fall for that. I'm not saying if you donate to your church, but what I'm saying is like the people that are so sad in their life that they think sending this guy on TV $20 with their prayer is going to answer their prayer. Like, you just might as well save your money and just go to a real church if that's what you're looking for comfort. Don't send that guy $20, $50, man. Just go to a real church and talk to a real preacher.
No.
I mean, if that's what you're into, I'm saying, I don't think you would have fell for it if you weren't into that. But I think that's going to wrap up this week's mail call. If we missed your question, please, again, remember, hashtag it mail call if it's not on this video or podcast. I say video, but I got to remember we are in other places now where there is no. But if leave your mail call question on the comment section, in the comment section of this podcast, and we'll definitely get to it. If you leave it, hashtag mail call in the comment section of any other podcast, then we'll definitely be able to find it. But it just is kind of hard without a staff to comb through every comment.
Yeah, it can be.
But I think that's going to wrap it up. So, wow, this has been the longest podcast this week, I do believe.
Good grief, man. Been a lot of fun.
Been a lot of fun. A lot of thought-provoking questions. But so don't forget to follow us on social media. I'm Justin Lloyd on Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope. All lowercase, no apostrophes, 2 L's in Lloyd. J_Radsaw for JP Snapchat, and JP Slim, all lowercase, no spaces. For Periscope. Also, follow us on Facebook. If you're into apps like SoundCloud, Spotify, and you maybe are watching this on YouTube, go follow us there. If you're listening to us on one of those apps, just go to YouTube and give us a subscribe and a like just for the heck of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that's all there is to leave. Pray for us. JP and I are going to be sleeping on top of a mountain on Saturday night. I'm still not going to let him get out of it. So, and even if he does get out of it, I'm still going to be sleeping on top of a mountain. But
Mountain of a man, maybe.
That's going to wrap it up. My name is Justin.
Oh, and I'm JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead.
Yeah.